Hey, great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas. Great weather, amazing weather. As long as it's not chispy cheapy, I'm thinking it's a good weather. And it looks like it's going to have. We're going to. I'm starting to sound like Frankie. It looks like we're going to have some great weather this week, and that's the forecast. Good morning. Good morning. Um, went to Casuelitas this morning for breakfast uh, because Papa isn't here. And when Papa isn't here, we get to go eat breakfast other places. When Papa is here, we go have breakfast at the Brownsville Coffee Shop. And the problem with Brownsville Coffee Shop is that it, a lot of times you sit on your laurels and start to slide a little bit. And I think that's what's happened with the Brownsville Coffee Shop. I put up a post the other day and going like, I'm just weird. Customer service is not where it needs to be. Uh, Food is not always where it used to be, and that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. Oh, I gotta get a haircut. Not a haircut. I gotta get a beard trim. Let me see if I can contact Orlando. I need a beard trim. I need a beard trim. I need a beard trim. Um, I go with Barber Kings because he already knows what I need. Well, because this restaurant is dinosaur old. This is the number three, the one that's on Jefferson Street. Well, I'm going to guess there's at least three because this was Casaritas three. I think the one that you're referring to is the one that's next to the fire station off of Washington. Is it Washington or Adams? Adams, maybe. I think it's Adams. And that one's got some great caldo de res. Great caldo de res. And the menudo has always been good. So they have this one here close to the office. So I said, let's try it. And I usually do the papas con huevo. Today I did the machacado. And it was good. A little bit on the salty side, but machacao tends to be salty because of the carne de burro that they use. That's just the way machacado is. But it's good. It's good. Someone sent me a message. Hold on. Buenos días. Mándale mensaje. There we go. Done. And I'm getting a haircut at 12 o'clock. You should try the machacado at Amigas. It's perfect. We've been meaning to go to Amigas. It's right here on 6th Street, isn't it? Or on 7th Street? Or is it on Palm Boulevard? I can't remember. I know it's on one of those streets. Let me say, today's going to be an interesting day. I was actually planning to go to the BISD board meeting just to see who they were going to nominate to replace Minerva Peña. And Minerva Peña's out, and kind of glad that they're going to vote her out instead of her just doing the right thing and resigning her seat because she has absolutely no class. And it's kind of like poetic justice, like kind of like karma for her. And again, I've had conversations with her as of recent. I don't hold I don't hold any grudges in regards to everything um, that they do against me, that they did against me. It's past history, so I don't hold that animosity like I hate them. I don't really hate them. I don't even hate Sylvia Atkinson, and it's kind of a weird deal. I really don't. And these people try to put me in jail and destroy my life, and I don't hate them. Uh, but I'm glad that they're getting what they tried to dish out, and I'm glad because it's uh, it's just, it's correct. Uh, and I think it's this is one of the things that I tell my church folk, my ovejitas. I tell them, guys, be very careful what you pronounce against other people, because God has a, or whatever you want to call, has a funny sense of humor in regards to, oh, so that's what you pronounced against them. So they bring it back into your life. It's a weird deal, and like we had a some family members who used to go to church with us, and they were like, oh, uh, they came out with the same crap that Minerva and all these individuals came out. Oh well, uh, had sex with a student in a car and uh, has a boyfriend, or he, he goes after men and stuff and stuff like that. I thought it was kind of weird. I don't know where they got that information from. I mean, one of the things that I've always shared, and I find it very offensive to individuals trying to delve that much into an individual's private life. So they ultimately they left our congregation and went off to Price Road, and and because he took the church buildings away, ignorant people. So, and these are relatives of ours, and they left, and oh well, and they had this like, oh well, he goes out with men, or he is homosexual and stuff, and they shared that amongst themselves like crazy, and all of a sudden they have a child who is very gay, very gay. And again, more power to people. And I mention this because individuals haven't learned that you can't go out there and pronounce stuff against them. Another one that left us at one point was out there like all excited because I had gotten a DWI and I was arrested and detained, and my mugshot came out. And what's funny is that they start sharing it amongst themselves, like en cuanto a chisme. So then all of a sudden, last year, boom, compadre got arrested, and he might actually do time for this charge being its second account. And again, and I don't say all this in a bad way. What I'm trying to say is we have to be careful what we pronounce against folks, because it comes back and bites us in the ass. As a matter of fact, uh, had a couple that we got into it because they have a son who I think now works for BISD, who's a little bit on the slow side. And that son would come out on my page and start like mouthing off, like, ah, yeah, you're a piece of trash and everything. It's like, mm, you are slow and overprotected by your parents. No, hombre, cállate. The parents ran into me one time at the mall, like, oh, okay, you said this about our child? Well, he's a dumbass. Tell them to stop coming at me my way because again, I do my best to live in peace with everyone, everyone, unless you come at me because I've shared this before. If anyone comes after you and if anyone hits you, you better hit them 10 times harder, or else they'll continue to come after you. That's why when I was going through my ordeal with BISD, they were saying like, don't mention anything on social media. I said, social media is my strength. You better believe I'm going to make put everything out there. And I talked about Sylvia Atkins-Tartarillo, Minerva Peña's stupidity, Jessica Gonzalez's stupidity, where no one else wants to speak about it. And that's what differentiates me to all these rest of these people out there. I put my name to what I say. Y sostengo lo que digo. Because again, I stand by what I said. So it was kind of weird because when Minerva Peña, she was the one that actually filed the police report against Erasmo Castro. Her, Drew Brown, Prissy Roca Tipton, and Sylvia Atkinson and Baltasar Salazar. They came after Erasmo Castro like crazy. And didn't work because it wasn't true. Everything that they mentioned, having sex with a student in the car, cocoreando with students, it wasn't true. 100%, 1,000% not true. So what happens is now Sylvia's in jail. Prissy's out of politics. Drew Brown was a racist piece of shit crap. Also out. And Minerva got arrested, mugshot, and now she's going to be kicked off the BISD board. Because then it was funny because her people were saying, well, you got kicked off the BISD board. I said, no, I didn't. I resigned. I did the smart thing. Can you explain why she's being voted out? Some of us don't know. Yeah, she is being voted out because a judge determined that he could not call the outcome of the race, the runoff race that she had with Marisa Leal. So has ordered a new race, and for the board to replace her uh, until they have that new race. The new race is going to be in May. Now, the current board had the option of keeping her or replacing her. And as much as she's gone out there to beg them, literally grovel to them, promising them hell and a half, they're going to vote her out. And it's poetic justice. And I'm glad. And in May, there's going to be a special election to determine between Marisa and Minerva to see who's going to finish off the term, which ends in November. It's going to be interesting. Um, had a conversation yesterday with individuals, and they asked me, do you think that Victor Caballero can take on Jessica Gonzalez? I said, it's going to be interesting. It just depends on how many people are going to jump into that race, because I've already said that that's the race that I'm going to run in. So again, I'm going to jump, like I mentioned yesterday to some folks, I'm going to jump into the race that has 4 or 5 people in it. That's where I'm going to fall. I do not care who it is against. And if it's running against Victor Caballero, I like Victor Caballero. He's a friend of mine. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Uh, they did not have the courtesy to come and ask Erasmo Castro, hey, because I've already mentioned that I was going to run against Jessica Gonzalez. Didn't have the common courtesy to say, hey, where are you going to fall in? And again, they don't have to. There's not a rule that says you have to. It's just common friendly courtesy. And I'm surprised, really surprised. I expected a little bit more from Mr. Caballero because I thought we were friends. But it's okay. I'm not disappointed. One of the things that I shared this morning on my church page is you don't expect anything from anyone. That way you don't get disappointed. It's like, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. So Minerva Peña will be replaced today. Good morning, Richard Steamboat. You needed to keep on telling me every time you put up a new post. All the time, sir. I always knew you were right and real about all of these people. With my own experience with them, they are all full of crap. They are full of crap, Jimmy. And I appreciate that. And again, I'm not in a hurry. And again, not desesperado. It is what it is. Everything falls in its own time. Um, I think that's it for today. Uh, uh, Again, a great show yesterday with Josephine Lee from Texas Observer. If you haven't watched it, go back and check it out. Uh, great show. I've got to get to work. I'm going to be in Matamoros tonight, so I'm probably not going to have a show today. Got to take care of my friends. Guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all's patience and time. Today's going to be an interesting board meeting to watch. I might watch some online and comment on it, but we'll see what happens. Um, it's going to be interesting. Uh, People that they have made mentioned that might be out there, whose names are out there to replace the Minerva Peña, are Drew Brown. It's a mistake, but more power to him. And Prissy Rocaticton, another mistake. But again, nothing that these people do surprises me. Who cares? Like I mentioned to Carlos Elizondo yesterday, who cares? Ultimately, they still have the majority. Instead of having a majority of four, now they'll have a majority of five. Who cares? Year's almost over. Thanks for everything, Steve. We love you. Love you too, bro. Guys, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day. Guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.